Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Dump and Change. Today our guest is senior defenseman and captain of SCSU men's hockey, Josh Luedtke. Josh, how's it going today?
It's going good. Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're super excited. So we're going to take you back to the beginning a little bit. You grew up in Minnetonka. Did your family have a background in hockey, or how did you start getting involved in it?
Yeah, I actually started playing hockey when I was 2 years old. So my dad he'd build a backyard rink in our backyard and just threw me and my brother out there. So we just started skating ever since we were really little. And my dad grew up playing hockey. He stopped in high school, but that's kind of my connection to the game. And yeah, I grew up playing for Minnetonka ever since I was a little kid. So from mites all the way to high school, I stayed at Minnetonka. And super cool about Minnesota hockey is that you just are with the same guys. Joe Molinar was one guy I played with for my entire youth career, and it's just so cool the design that Minnesota hockey has, just because you're with the community for the whole way up, and I'm really thankful for that for sure.
That's cool. How much older is your brother then?
He's 3 years older than I am.
Okay, so was he kind of beating up on you a little bit? What was the relationship?
Yeah, definitely drew the best competition out of us. I never liked to lose to him, so it probably is what helped me in my hockey career too. But he was kind of always bigger than I was too, so he was beating up on me. But yeah, it was always fun to play against him, and I always looked up to him. He was a role model for me, so it was really cool to just have that experience with him growing up.
And was college always a dream of yours?
Yeah, I think ever since I was little, I always wanted to play D1 college hockey, and always whenever they asked me what my dream job was as a kid, I always said NHL player. I think that was my go-to answer every time. So yeah.
I always think it's funny to hear about like people and how they were as hockey players growing up. Were you like the kid that was always working hard, or were you like the kind of goofing around kid?
I was kind of the always working hard kid. I feel like I was just always out there on the rink. My parents said I'd get home from school and just put on my skates and go to the outdoor rink and just be out there for hours. But to me, it never felt like it was like a drag to be out there. I just loved the game and loved being out there. So it didn't feel like I was working hard. It just felt like I was going out there and having fun.
That's cool.
Did you play any other sports?
I played soccer growing up until I was in middle school, and then my brother actually got me into lacrosse, so I switched from soccer into lacrosse, and pretty physical game, and it's getting more popular too, but I'd always leave lacrosse practices with bruises across my shoulders, and it's pretty physical too. That's what I liked about it. It was kind of similar to hockey in that sense, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Just a fair amount of my friends who played hockey also played lacrosse, so it was something that we could do in the off season to just stay in shape, but then also just have fun playing another sport together.
Yeah, I feel like that's not big in Minnesota either.
Yeah, not too big. It's definitely more big out east, but it's getting more popular in Minnesota, I feel like, as of late. But
yeah, it's not even in North Dakota. Like
we had a lot of it in Illinois, but like it was kind of the same thing where like if you played hockey, you would also play lacrosse. Like a lot of people did both because it was kind of like, I don't know how it was similar, but they always said it was kind of similar. So
for sure, yeah. Our coach actually at Minnetonka, he loved the hockey players, so if someone was to play varsity hockey, you'd try out and he'd put you on the varsity lacrosse team too, pretty much just because he played hockey. It might have been the physicality piece to hockey, but I think it also just translates well, just the hand-eye coordination and the hockey sense kind of translates a little bit with playing fast in lacrosse too. So.
And you won state at Minnetonka?
I did win. I won
1 year?
1 year, my junior year of high school, so that would be in 2017 when we won it, 2017, 2018, but yeah, it was just always my dream growing up to win that tournament, and always going to the XL Energy Center as a kid growing up and dreaming of being there, and then to actually do it was just something I'll never forget. It was pretty surreal.
Was it like you guys were really good, like expected to win, or was it kind of like a grind to get there, you think?
Yeah, we had a really good team that year.
Yeah.
Actually, I think like us and Edina were like switched off between the number one ranked team in the state that year, and I think we had like maybe 8 Division I players or guys who went on to play Division I, which for a high school team was pretty crazy. But
loaded,
yeah, it was really cool to be able to do that. We actually we were in the section final game, so the game to get to the state tournament, and we were down 4-3 and scored with 3 seconds left to tie it up.
That's crazy.
Then go to overtime and score in overtime to then go to state. But we were 3 seconds away from not getting there, which was pretty crazy looking back on it.
Did you guys have a lot of scouts and stuff at your game?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times just because we had a pretty talented team and because we were playing against other good teams like those other teams, Edina, Eden Prairie, Wayzata, teams like that. There was a decent amount of scouts at our game, so it was definitely cool to have that, especially for high school hockey.
So did recruiting start kind of early for you?
Yeah, the recruiting process for me started very early, but it was something that I probably didn't handle the best way. I actually committed when I was a sophomore in high school, and I was committed to Northern Michigan University.
Really? I didn't know that.
And yeah, I feel like just at the time I didn't really know much. And
Right, that's really, I feel like for a guy that's really young to commit.
Yeah, and I felt just like knowing what I know now, I would have definitely done it differently.
Yeah.
But very, very thankful for how it all played out. I'm very thankful to be where I am right now at St. Cloud. But yeah, just being in high school and being that young, you kind of don't know the ins and outs or what you want post high school even. So, but yeah, it is something that I'm thankful to have gone through too.
What kind of guidance were you like under while you were still in high school, kind of making those decisions?
Yeah, I know some people go to like the hockey advisors, and that's starting even younger, I feel like, nowadays. But for me, I never had someone that I was really leaning on too much for the advice, which is probably why I committed pretty early too. But it was more just like talking to coaches and parents and those around me at the time, but I never really leaned on an advisor like I know some people do nowadays.
Yeah. Interesting.
So then you went and played juniors. Were you still committed to Northern Michigan?
Yeah, so just even crazier to the story, I was actually committed to Denver after that. So
you can't trust this guy.
Just looking back on it, I again wish I could have just been committed to one school and have only been committed to St. Cloud and stayed that way. But it kind of just was something where after I decommitted from Northern Michigan, the opportunity came up to go to Denver, and one of my good teammates in high school, Bobby Brink, was also there at Denver, so that kind of affected the decision. And then one of my best friends growing up played lacrosse at Denver, so they were also reasons why I wanted to go there. But I played a year in Des Moines in junior hockey, committed to Denver, and then after that is when I just felt a really strong sense that I needed to stay closer to home, and it worked out where St. Cloud wanted me, and I was able to come here, so I'm very thankful to be here at St. Cloud. And like I said, I wish it would have just been the one school, but I guess it added to the craziness of it all. And, was a learning experience for sure.
Were those tough phone calls to make?
Yeah, one of them I met with the coach at Northern Michigan in person, which was a pretty tough conversation, and again, just tough phone calls, but stuff that you need to do and own up to and meet with the coaches and talk about. So, definitely helped me be able to face those tough conversations. But, yeah, again, like I said, I wish I could have just
that's crazy.
had it where I was only committed to one school.
And
go ahead.
You played juniors before and after your senior year, or how did that all work out?
My junior year of high school, I played it before and after with Des Moines. And then my senior year, I played Elite League, and then before my senior year of high school, and then after, my plan was to go play for Des Moines, but I actually tore my MCL my senior year.
Okay.
So I couldn't go and play and join them after the season.
But you played for Minnetonka your high school season?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you played 1 year after college, or 1 year after high school?
I played 1 year after high school, and then I switched and committed to St. Cloud, and then played another year in Des Moines. So I aged out of juniors and played 2 years in Des Moines. So, yeah, it was a great experience in Des Moines. I really liked it there.
So what ultimately led to St. Cloud being the choice?
The final decision.
The final decision. Yeah, it was, for me, it was just the coaching staff and the people here. Also, wanting to be close to home was a huge factor. It's only an hour away from Minnetonka, which is super nice, just as far as my parents are able to come to every game, and it's something that's super special and I'm thankful for. But then also, yeah, just the people here are amazing. Coach Larson and RJ and Coach Rude, but just the staff here, the people here, the culture is what definitely drew me here. It's very similar to what we had at Minnetonka, where it was a family-first culture and just guys who care so much about each other and they're willing to put each other before themselves, which is ultimately what a successful program should have. And it's just something that I wouldn't trade for the world is the culture we have here at St. Cloud.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of guys talk about it in the same way that you do, kind of that like family sense, which is great to hear.
Yeah. So what was the transition like going into college? Did you play right off the bat? Did you expect to play right off the bat?
Yeah, I think coming out of juniors, it really helped for me to have played a second year of junior hockey just to gain that experience. And then the USHL does a really good job of getting you game ready to transition into college hockey. So I felt ready to play college hockey. And my freshman year, I kind of knew coming in as a freshman, it's kind of expected that you're not going to play every game. And I knew I was going to have to go through that. And my freshman year, I was scratched at the beginning and out of the lineup, but just kept working at it, stayed positive, knew it was part of the process. And then I was able to pretty regularly get into the lineup like midway through the season my freshman year and then stay in the lineup. So, it was one of those things where I knew it was going to be a tough transition from junior to college hockey. But like I said, it kind of helped just to play 2 years and have more experience at the junior level to be ready for college hockey.
Was that the first time you've ever been a healthy scratch in your hockey career?
It was the first time I was a healthy scratch. So it was definitely something where you still have those questions and those doubts a little bit, and it's part of the mental battle in college hockey. But I think it's something that definitely helps build character. And when you're able to just not get too negative or down on yourself because you're not in the lineup and just stay positive, I think it helps a lot for sure.
And how did you manage to do that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just like going back to what I said about the culture here, just leaning on those guys. We have so many great guys, so many great leaders. When I came in as a freshman, we had guys like Spencer Meyer and Kevin Fitzgerald, Micah Miller, just some great leaders who have came through this program. And when you aren't playing, they're treating you the same as anyone else and just including you and helping you to not get too down on yourself. When you're not in the lineup, you feel just as part of the team as when you are in the lineup here, and that's something that I'm really thankful for, was just to lean on those guys and have them to go to when it did get tough.
After having that kind of experience, now that you're captain, how do you like to kind of incorporate that into your leadership style?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I try to do as a leader is just make sure those freshmen and transfers, the new guys, just feel very included into our culture right away. Obviously, to have a family culture, you can't be excluding people or putting anyone off to the side. So when guys aren't playing or things are tough for them, you want to go to those guys and just talk to them, make sure that they're feeling included and feeling supported for sure. And I think that's something that our leadership group does a really good job of here, is just making sure the freshmen not only feel included but feel comfortable right away, just to be themselves and to not try to be something that they're not. That's a big thing that we preach here, is just to be yourself too, because so many people come into college and think they have to like prove themselves and be somebody, but honestly, just to be yourself and do the best that you can. And I think that's something that our leadership group does pretty well here.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like those freshmen are definitely very outgoing, so
for sure,
we thank you for that.
Yeah, right.
Right.
No problem.
So we know that your faith is like super important to you going throughout your life. How would you say that you incorporate that into your game?
Yeah, for sure. I think my faith is everything. For me, growing up, I was always going to church, and it was something where it was a huge part of my life, but I feel like I didn't really truly know or have a personal relationship with Jesus until I started playing junior hockey. And we had a team chaplain there who kind of just talked to me about how being a Christian isn't just going to church on Sunday or doing certain things that other people aren't. It's more just talking to Jesus on a day-to-day basis. And for me, I really wanted to seek that. And it was something for me where I was able to find that my couple of years that I played juniors, and then into college, it's something that translates to everything that I do. I want to glorify God with how I'm playing hockey, how I'm treating other people, and how I carry myself. So I think it's probably the biggest part of my life and who I desire to be.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I think that college is always like such the time where or college and like going away from home is the time where you really have to like hone into your individual relationship with God, not just like what you've grown up into. And I think having those like kind of Bible studies and chapel resources has always like been super helpful than bringing people to finding their own relationship with it. So that's really cool.
For sure. Yeah, I think just having the team chapels and the Bible studies is so crucial, just because, like you said, you're away from home and you're able to build that personal relationship on your own. It's not just your parents bringing you to church; it's your decision, and I feel like that's such a big difference from being younger, for sure.
Have you found any challenges with relating hockey and your faith? We always talk about like the idolization factor of just idolizing hockey and
for sure,
and struggling with not putting hockey itself on such a high pedestal.
Yeah, I think that's definitely been one of my biggest struggles. Growing up, I've always kind of just been a perfectionist, and with hockey, I'm just super competitive. So for me, I used to put my value in how I performed in hockey and as a hockey player, and it was so depressing just because whenever I was struggling as a hockey player, not doing well, that's how I would value myself as a person. So if I was playing poorly in hockey, I'd think I'm just not a good person, and that I'd just be feeling really low and down on myself. So to know that my identity isn't as who I am in a hockey player, but it's in my relationship with Jesus is so powerful, because it gives you so much confidence that no matter how bad you're playing or how good you're playing, Jesus is going to be your rock. And for me, I'm so thankful for that, because for too much of my life I was that perfectionist, and when I didn't do good, I would just feel so down. So it was pretty hard but I'm thankful to have grown and know more now than I used to have known.
Is there something that you're still kind of struggling with, like wrapping your head around?
As far as my faith, I think I just want to be more confident with it, just being more courageous and bold with it. I feel like a lot of times I've kind of just always been a person who's a little more reserved and to myself a little bit. And for me, I never want to just go with the flow and then not be able to speak up about my faith. So that's something that I definitely want to do more now, is just to be confident in who I am and to be able to speak up on it. A lot of times I'm just so go with the flow that I just maybe don't even speak up about my faith or let people know about it. So it's something that I'm definitely working on and trying to do.
Yeah, I feel like people can tell by.
Yeah,
right.
Like
that's
we haven't like it's not like we're super close with you, but
we've heard about it, and
I feel like our team just knows that you're like pretty deep into your faith, and maybe it's just like the way you act obviously is representing yourself as a Christian. And
for sure, I think a lot of how I like to lead and in a hockey sense, but also in my faith, is just to lead by example. A lot of times you don't have to have the right words to say, but just trying to do the right thing, and your actions a lot of times speak louder than words. So that's something that I try to do and carry myself in that way, for sure.
Have you found that to be a struggle with being in college and the culture being what it is today?
Yeah, I think the way that culture is going nowadays is probably further away from God, and it's something in the hockey world that can be a challenge for sure. I think it's something where we are called to be a light in the darkness too, so you never want to shy away from it. And I think the best thing you can do is just to be a light for people and to love people even when it's hard. So I think that's something that I want to do and continue to do.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you think it's challenging, like, I don't know how religious your team is, but if you, like, rely so much on your faith to, like, be motivating in that sense, and, like, you're talking to somebody who necessarily doesn't have the same relationship with Jesus, do you think it's, like, hard to kind of get that message across? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like just from the standpoint of that, and if they don't have a relationship with Jesus, I think they are pretty motivated just as a hockey player in general. So I'm not going to try to force something on them that they don't have in their life. So I think they're pretty receptive just to being motivated in their own sense too. So it definitely can be a challenge, but it's something that the guys in our room are pretty motivated regardless. And a lot of the values of being a Christian actually translate to hockey too, just as far as like working hard to be successful. And yeah, obviously we never want guys to get lazy or start cutting quarters around the rink. So a lot of it does translate regardless.
Yeah, that is a good point.
You have seems like you have a few people at least that are pretty deep in their faith on your team. You went on a mission trip, was it this summer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and Jack Ryman went to Hungary to do a camp through Hockey Ministries International. And it was just a really, really cool experience because we were able to share our faith and then through a hockey camp. So it was really unique and something that I'm very thankful for. The kids there were didn't speak English, most of them didn't, so that was a challenge. But a lot of what we could do was just demonstrate drills, and then we had translators, and some kids did speak English, so we used them a lot. But yeah, it was just an amazing experience to be able to travel to Europe. That was a place that I'd never been to before, and to do that with a teammate was just super special. I'm really thankful for that.
Were they, like, in awe of you guys? Like, they had to have been.
Yeah, they were just super thankful that we could be there, and they didn't know, like, a ton about college hockey, but they knew that we were playing at this level, and they looked up to us, and they looked up to the camp instructors there. So it was really cool to go there, and you kind of get treated like a celebrity almost, and it's just like I didn't feel like that at all, so it was pretty cool.
And you have a fiance.
I do, yeah.
How has she helped you grow in your faith?
Yeah, I mean, she's been the best. Just to have someone who can hold you accountable in that walk of faith is just something that I wouldn't trade for the world. She's someone that I can always lean on when times are tough, and just communicate with and tell her the hard things, the good things, just everything that I'm going through. And she's kind of just been a steady rock for me to lean on too, and she's been the best. I'm really thankful for her.
Were you guys, like, kind of at the same point with your religion when you first met, or was there kind of, like, inequality with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for both of us it was just something where we were both at a point where we needed to grow, and we were kind of at a very similar point when we met, and over our relationship we've just both grown in our relationship with Jesus. And the way I've got it described before is that when you're in a relationship and you're both chasing God, you actually end up getting closer together as a result. So the further along that we've put God first in our lives, it's actually put Morgan and I even closer together. So I'm really thankful for that, and it's been so special to get to grow with her.
That's really awesome. Cool. And when did you guys meet?
We met the summer before I came into St. Cloud my freshman year, so we've been dating for a little over 3 years before we got engaged. So
is she from your hometown?
She's from Anoka, Minnesota, so
okay.
She's like 45 minutes from Minnetonka.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. She played hockey growing up.
Oh, really?
At Anoka too, yeah.
Cool.
So it's something that she has a great love for hockey too. So she's been at pretty much every home game that we've had here at St. Cloud, and she's my biggest fan. So it's so fun to get to share that with her. And then, like, over Christmas break, we were able to go and play pond hockey together. So it's something that's pretty special for us to have that love for hockey too.
Yeah,
that's really exciting. When is the wedding, and are you helping plan it?
It's June 27th, and I'm not helping it probably as much as I should be, but I'm doing my best and answering as many questions as I can.
What are you in charge of?
Lately I've been helping out with the music and getting the wedding playlist ready, but and then I'm also in charge of figuring out what suit I'm gonna wear for the wedding day, but that's probably something that I should be on top of anyways. So
that's funny. Yeah, I always wonder about that, like how much guys get involved in that process.
Probably not.
Right.
And some women, I feel like they don't even want you involved, you know?
Right, yeah. Some things are just
better
left in their hands.
It's probably definitely better that way.
Yeah.
Okay, do you care about photo or video edits of your games? What would you want to see more of? Like the media side of things, do you care?
Of like the highlights they're posting or just
like the photographers you have at your games, the pictures you get, the videos you get, everything along those lines?
Yeah, I think for me, like I'm honestly not too worried about that kind of stuff. I think our photographers do a really good job, and Bill Proud is someone who takes photos for us, and then he posts them on Center Ice View. So I think he does a great job with it. But yeah, I think it would be cool for them to post more stuff on social media. I think from my freshman year to now, they've gotten a lot better at that, of posting some cool pump-up highlight video type stuff on social media. And just like the intro video that we have before games has gotten pretty cool to see over the years. Yeah. So I think it's something that can continue to get better too.
Yeah.
What about the TikToks? Are you guys getting into those now?
Yeah, we see one of your team every Tuesday.
Yeah, TikTok Tuesday, but I'm not someone who has TikTok. I used to have it, but then I deleted it actually because I was wasting too much time on it. It was kind of a trap for me, so I was like, it's better if I just get rid of it completely and not even tempted to waste hours upon hours on it. So
that's a good plan.
But yeah, the TikToks are something that are pretty funny for the guys. We have those TikTok Tuesdays where we get asked questions every Tuesday. I think we got asked today who the mom of our team was, and I said Ryan Roseborough. So
Is he the mom of the team? I don't feel like it's like you.
It's a tough question. Ethan Acoin said it was me. But I said the dad of the team would probably be Isaac Posh. I don't know if you guys have talked to him, but he kind of has a dad-like personality.
He does, so, yeah. I kind of get that vibe from him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What former teammate do you have posted in your room?
I have Spencer Meyer posted in my room. He stayed in the room before me, and as he was leaving or cleaning out the room, he's like, I left something in there for you, and I look, and it's just a big picture of him, but it's pretty funny sometimes I forget it's even in there. I'll just look and see a big headshot of Spencer, and I'm like, this is hilarious. I have to keep this.
You would do that.
So funny.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Bible verse?
Yeah, it's Colossians 3:23, and it's whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as though you're working for the Lord and not for people. And it's my favorite verse just because for so much of my life I've kind of been a people pleaser, and it's something that I kind of struggle with is, am I working because I want to please a coach or please my parents or be liked amongst a certain group of people? And for me, whatever it is that I'm working at, I want to do it because I want to glorify God versus to please people. So that's kind of my life verse, and work ethic has always been a big piece of my life and something that I've wanted to just have with everything that I do too. So it kind of just has been my life first, just because I wanted to work at whatever I'm doing with all my heart too.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
Who's your inspiration?
My inspiration is Jesus, just because of my faith and looking to him. Obviously, it's hard to perfectly live like he did because he didn't sin at all. So it's some big shoes to look up to. But yes, from a hockey standpoint, I look up to Jared Spurgeon.
Okay.
For the Minnesota Wild, just because he's a undersized defenseman, kind of like myself, and he's so smart, and he's someone who leads by example and just works so hard. So he's someone that I definitely look up to in the hockey world for sure.
Definitely. I feel like you embody those characteristics well.
Thank you.
So what's next for you?
Yeah, a lot of what I'm trying to figure out right now is what I'm going to do next year. I don't want to look too far ahead just because when I do look too far ahead, it kind of prevents me from living in the moment too, because we're still in season and our goal is to win national championships. So for me, I kind of like to live more day to day, but outside of getting married this summer, my goal is to play pro hockey, and not sure what my opportunities or what that is going to look like, but a lot of it comes down to my faith too, and just trusting God.
Yeah.
And He's led me to where I am today right now, so I trust where He's going to lead me in the future and whatever that might be. And even if I'm not playing hockey next year, I'm going to trust wherever He puts me and be thankful for that.
That's awesome.
Do you have like an agent or something right now?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it an agent, but just two guys that I lean on for advice in hockey, and then that I would go to if I'm able to get a pro contract after the season. But yeah, I think for me, I'm not sure. I've always kind of, as of late, been thinking of going to Europe to play pro hockey, just because I know some of my teammates have done that in the past, and I think it would just be such a unique experience to do that, especially while I'm young and I'm able to do that. It's just to go over there while I'm young and play hockey for a living and be somewhere completely new is just something that would be really cool.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Exactly.
You think you're going to miss your parents, though?
I think that would be the tough part too, and I think it'd be hard to move away from my family and my grandparents too, who are in Minnesota. It'd be hard to be so far from home, so that's definitely a huge piece of it. And I'm not sure if I will end up in Europe. But we'll kind of see how everything plays out.
Or maybe you're gonna commit to it and then decide not to.
Right. Maybe. I hope I'm past those days of committing somewhere and then not going through with it. So yeah.
That's funny.
All right. Any pregame superstitions?
I'm really not that superstitious. I wouldn't consider myself a superstitious person. I do go out on the ice and pray before every game. I'll sit out on our bench and just kind of look at the ice and pray before I play. And then in the locker room, we'll talk before the games, and I'll kind of try to say the same stuff that I always say. But yeah, I really don't like to be too superstitious, because then if you don't do the same things, then you can.
I agree.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it can be a head case if you think too much about that stuff too.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the worst driver on your team?
Yeah, I'd probably say it's me, and most of the guys on the team would probably say it's me too, just because I don't know what it is, but I'm not a great driver, and I've probably had like 4 tickets, 3 speeding tickets, and
you
1
just
for being
rip
on my
around
phone.
Or what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have a need for speed or what, but I've gotten a lot of tickets and a couple car accidents, so I'm not a great driver. And
couple car accidents.
It's something that I want to get better at, and I've had a good stretch here where I haven't got any tickets or haven't gotten a car accident in a while, but my car didn't start this morning too, so I'm kind of having some car troubles.
Oh, our roommate's car didn't either. Yeah. It's freezing though.
It's really cold out, unfortunately.
Who's the funniest on your team?
As much as I'd hate to say it, I think Warren Clark is the funniest on our team.
Really?
I don't know if you guys have talked to him, but
not enough apparently.
Whenever I'm with him, he always makes people laugh. He's a funny guy, cracking jokes, and I think he's pretty funny.
Who has the best style on your team? On and off the ice will do.
I'm gonna give it to Rosie. I think his style before games is pretty good, and
the hat.
He's got
the little, what are they called?
He's got a nice hat that he wears. Yeah,
the hat kills me.
It's something that I couldn't pull off.
Maybe we should input a picture of his hat in this.
We'll throw it in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I think we told him he has good style one time.
Yeah, well.
And I feel like just whenever we're going out, he's always the best dressed too. Just at least more than I am. I'm kind of tend to wear just joggers and a hoodie a lot, but he's someone who can just dress
You
up
guys
a little
all wear
nicer, but-
joggers and a hoodie.
Yeah.
I know. I've definitely had a conversation with Rosie about like him getting dressed up to the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To wherever we go. Yeah.
What about on ice?
On ice. That's a tough one. I'll give it to Ethan a coin. He
Interesting.
uses a white stick and a white sock tape on his tape job,
That's
but
pretty crazy.
I don't know. I'm not a really big sty guy or into that stuff, so I honestly don't like look at it that much as far as guys. But Austin Bernovic is someone who's got a pretty unique tape job. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but
Oh, wait, we were actually looking at your guys' tape jobs in Duluth
Yeah.
because your sticks were lined up when we would go out.
right.
Yeah, I forget.
He
what
uses
it
like
is, but-
this white or black like strip and puts it like across his blade horizontally and then tapes like a little bit of the toe, but it's pretty unique.
Where do people come up with this
Wow.
stuff?
We'll have to have him on and ask him.
Yeah.
Right.
We kind of talked about this a little before, but what's your favorite rink to play at on the road?
Yeah, it'd probably be North Dakota just
Oh,
because the Ralph is, it almost feels like an NHL type environment
Yeah.
when we're there.
Mhm.
Their student section is huge and they're always yelling at you, but it's been some great experiences for me playing there to go in there and win. Obviously, this year we weren't able to do that, but it's a really cool environment for sure.
We had some questions about your game at St. Thomas when you got hurt.
Yeah.
What was that like? Like, do you even remember?
It was
Any of it
was really
happening?
crazy for me because the last thing I remember was being there and like being in the locker room. I don't remember anything besides that.
Really?
And yeah, even after it was a blur too. Like I don't remember being in the hospital, but I think it was my second shift of the game and I got hit, knocked the back of my head against the glass and the glass is pretty stiff there, and I just got knocked out cold, was unconscious. The guys said that I was seizing on the ice, which is pretty scary, and I got stretchered off, and my parents and my fiance Morgan was there too, and it was
Oh gosh.
really scary for them too.
Yeah.
But yeah, just times like those, injuries too, just scary stuff like that, it just makes me appreciate just being healthy and
Right.
how lucky I am to be playing and to have a healthy body too. So yeah, it was definitely a scary experience there at St. Thomas, and wasn't something that I really remember, unfortunately.
And it's
Maybe
gotta,
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
it's got to be scary coming back from that too. Like I feel like
Yeah.
you have like PTSD from it. Like every time you're going into the
Right.
boards.
Yeah, and just the recovery from that concussion was tough too because
Brutal.
it was pretty serious. So I had like vertigo and
Really?
yeah, I just remember like going on the ice, like it was weird almost where I would like feel normal and I felt like, oh, I'm back to normal, like I'm good again. And then I'd go out on the ice and guys would be skating all around me and it would just like be really blurry and
Yikes.
Wow.
I'd start to feel really dizzy on the ice. And yeah, so the recovery process for that was pretty tough actually. I think it took like at least a month to get back to be able to play again. And even like you said, it just didn't feel like completely back to normal when I was back. So it definitely took some time and had to do the right steps to get back. I remember at the time I was like doing vision therapy and all this stuff to get my like visual system back. So it was a lot of rehabilitation and work off the ice to get back to healthy again.
Have you struggled with a lot of injuries?
Yeah, unfortunately I have. I've tore my MCL in my knee probably 3 times now, through high school, juniors, and into college, which is just, it's not fun because it's something that you don't need surgery for and it heals on its own, but it never like gets back to what it was.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
almost
always,
worse.
yeah, it's like loose and it doesn't feel as stable as my other leg, unfortunately. And then just kind of just the usual standard hockey injuries, shoulder injuries.
Yeah.
I've had some AC joint separations,
Always the
and
shoulders.
some high ankle sprains and stuff like that. But I'm very thankful to be healthy right
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah.
it was something I was actually just thinking about the other day, like just trying to shift my perspective because sometimes you just get caught of the day-to-day and you kind of forget, but just feeling very thankful to be healthy and to be able to play college hockey, which I've always dreamed about. So I'm very thankful right now.
Right. And you guys are currently on a little bit of a slump. So how, as a leader, do you get your team through that, or what steps do you take to try to get out of that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us, just talking as a group, is when we are going through adversity and tough stretches like these, the biggest thing that we voice to our team is that when there's adversity, you can't break apart. You have to stick together. And the worst thing you can do when you start losing is start pointing the finger and dividing into groups. But the best thing you can do is allow it to bring you closer together, to grow from it. And for us right now, the message is to honestly just stick together, stay positive, and keep working, because unfortunately we haven't been getting the results, but we have played some pretty good hockey, especially as of late. Last weekend, I think Saturday, we had a ton of scoring chances, which is something that we hadn't had in other weekends. So our game is trending in the right direction, so we can't be too discouraged when we aren't winning, and we have to just stay positive and keep the culture the way that it is in our room.
Yeah, I feel like our team's struggling with that a bit, and it's like the same idea, like you can't pinpoint it on one specific thing that seems to be the problem. It's just like things are just not going your way sometimes.
Right.
So, I mean, there's only so much you can do at a certain point, you know?
Right. And I feel like sometimes that's the toughest part too, is like everyone's trying to figure out like what's going wrong, and it's not like there's an easy one solution that would fix everything too. So it's something you kind of just have to keep working at, and a lot of it is mental too, just the mental battle of when things aren't going right, can you still continue to work and stay positive instead of getting down in the dumps and get too negative, which obviously things can spiral and get even worse when you aren't doing good.
Right.
What's your relationship with your coaches like in terms of like kind of talking through those things?
Yeah, our staff is the best, just with everything, but especially with that, we can always just go up to them and talk to them about anything, maybe questions with why we're doing certain drills or what we're doing in the weight room or whatever it is. We have a really good relationship with them as far as just being really open with them and honest with them. And when things aren't going right, like now, they do a really good job of just talking to us and meeting with our leadership group and try to figure out what we can continue to do and work on. And I'm very thankful that they are very open with us, because I'm not really sure how it is other places, but they do a really good job of communicating with us.
Yeah, I think that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are going to Omaha this weekend. What are you looking for the team?
Yeah, I think the goal for us is we never want to look too far ahead. So the goal is to win on Friday, and our goal is to get 3 points on Friday. We meet with Mark Wick, who's our mental health coach, and he always says you can't sweep a team on Friday. You can only win one game. So we try not to look ahead and be like, oh, we need to get 6 points on the weekend. We just got to take it one game at a time, and as cliche as it is, but just take it one shift at a time too, honestly, and do our best to win every shift and win every battle. And we know a lot of it just comes down to our compete and how hard we're working. And when we are competing and going out there and not overthinking the game and playing with our instincts, then that's when we're playing at our best too. So that's our focus for this weekend.
Does your whole team work with your mental sports performance coach? What kind of stuff do you guys do with him?
He just comes into our team, and he'll meet with us and do different exercises. So he'll talk to us about meditation, which is a tool that some people utilize. And then other exercises we'll do is breathing exercises. So when your emotions are high on the ice, it definitely helps to slow down and breathe on the bench, because then you are given an opportunity to calm down and kind of refocus your mind. And then he'll also do other exercises with us, like talk about our strengths, or keep a journal with players as far as why they were able to have a good performance or a good practice. And just when you're writing some of that stuff down, it can definitely help to identify like what led you to be successful or what led you to not be feeling at your best too. So he does a really good job of, he meets individually with players too, and then can just get to know them on a deeper level, or if you are going through something hard, he's able to help you through it. I remember it was my sophomore year, right after my concussion, that I was actually struggling mentally just with being able to control my emotions. I don't know if it was part of the concussion or just where I was at during that season of life, but I remember being on the ice and like, for whatever reason, I couldn't control my emotions very well at all. And like I'd mess up in a game and I'd freak out and go take a penalty, or I'd mess up in practice. I remember like messing up in practice and then breaking my stick over the post and be like, why did I just do that? Like, what just happened? So he's someone that like during a stretch like that I could talk to, and he would kind of just walk me through it and help me do things that would help me work through that. And he's been awesome for us.
Yeah, that's good. I'm definitely going to take note of those because I feel like our team needs that, and some of the exercises we do sometimes are just stupid. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, last question. Have you been to a women's game this year? A full game?
I haven't been to a full women's game this year in all
Why
honesty.
not? You're busy?
I mean, we play on the most of the same days that you guys play, so
I think you guys have had some off weekends here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely make it a priority to get to one of your guys' games.
You've got
to. That sounds great.
Yeah, you've got to.
We expect to see you there then.
We need some more fans.
Yes, for sure. Well, what game would you guys recommend?
Well, we only have like 2 more home games. Yeah.
Yep, something like that.
So
St. Thomas, I think.
St. Thomas in Minnesota.
Okay.
We play at home.
Yeah. So we'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll see you guys.
They probably play at both of them. So we
just show up really early to the rink.
Challenge, is that we play too.
Yeah, but you guys came to like one period of our game, right?
Yeah. I remember coming
when
to
you were
one
signing
period.
autographs.
Yeah, when they had to be there, they were there.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Well, come out to our game to see Josh. He'll be in the stands watching us. So. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time on Dump and Change.